Aside from your monitor and mouse, your keyboard is one of the most critical pieces of gaming gear. While mechanical keyboards are the usual go-to choice, a new contender is making waves, the Hall Effect keyboard. But is it really worth the hype? What makes Hall Effect keyboards different? Before we can talk about Hall Effect switches and what makes them special, it helps to first understand how mechanical switches work. When you press a key, the stem, the colored plastic component, moves downward, compressing the spring inside the switch. This movement causes the two metal contacts, the leaf, to touch, which registers a key press. As you release the key, the spring decompresses and pushes the stem back to its original position, separating the contacts and resetting the switch so that it can register another keystroke. This mechanism is very satisfying to type and game on. Plus, it's highly reliable, as it can handle around 50 million keystrokes, well above that of a membrane keyboard. What's up, guys? Charles here. Many viewers on my channel watch the videos, but lots haven't subscribed yet. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to stay updated with all the latest gaming material. Hall Effect switches share some similarities with mechanical switches. For starters, they look almost identical on the outside. Hall Effect switches also have a two-part plastic housing and an MX-style stem, meaning you can use the same keycaps that mechanical keyboards use. On the inside, they also have a spring that provides resistance when you push down and brings the stem back up when releasing. While not identical, I find that they feel and sound similar to standard linear mechanical switches like Cherry MX Reds. The real difference lies in how Hall Effect switches register keystrokes. Instead of a metal leaf, Hall Effect switches use a magnet inside the stem and a Hall Effect sensor at the bottom. As the stem moves, the sensor detects changes in the magnetic field strength. Once the keystroke crosses a set actuation threshold, such as 2 millimeters of travel, it is registered as input. The benefits of this technology are numerous. For starters, there's less physical wear, which is why Hall Effect switches are rated for around 100 million key presses. But the main advantage is that heat switches are analog, meaning they can detect input across the whole motion of the switch. And if you're interested in a Hall Effect keyboard, make sure to check the pinned comment. This means that you can adjust the actuation point to whatever threshold suits you. For example, my SteelSeries Apex Pro TKL Wireless Gen 3 uses OmniPoint 3.0 switches that can register a key press anywhere from 0.1 millimeters all the way down to 4.0 millimeters. In contrast, mechanical switches have a fixed actuation point that's usually around 1.8 millimeters to 2.0 millimeters. The fastest are silver switches from brands like Cherry, Akko, and Utimu activate at around 1.0 millimeters to 1.2 millimeters, which allows for quick input in games, but it's not that great for typing. The downsides of Hall Effect keyboards. Hall Effect keyboards are awesome, but like most other things in life, it doesn't come without a few downsides. The one major downside is the price. Hall Effect keyboards are a hot commodity right now, but that's not the only reason prices are high. I suspect that it's because Hall Effect switches cost more to produce, as they need tighter tolerances and use slightly more expensive parts. The research that goes into building these keyboards contributes significantly to the cost as well. Plus, most of the Hall Effect keyboards are either Kickstarter products or premium gaming brands like Corsair, Razer, and SteelSeries, which tend to carry a slightly higher price tag. The second major disadvantage is customization. While you can swap out the keycaps, that's about it. If the switches aren't to your liking out of the box, there's not much you can do to make the keyboard thocky. Even if the keyboard is hot swappable, Hall Effect switches are mostly proprietary, meaning you can only use those that were approved by the manufacturer. Even if a Hall Effect switch fits the keyboard physically, there's a good chance that the PCB won't recognize it. Honestly, you probably wouldn't want to swap out the switches anyway, since that's what you paid a premium for in the first place. However, it's still a nice feature to have, in case one of the switches malfunctions. That's it for today's video. Do consider subscribing for all the latest content on gaming, and as always, I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.